Hello everybody, welcome to this presentation where team number 3, composed by Carlos Alberto Gaxiola, Beatriz, Meza, Andrea, Natali, Murieta, and Guillermo Beltrán here talking to you about teaching styles. Thank you so much for listening. We hope that by the end of the video, the information that will be presented to you will be useful for you and your teacher training. Thank you. Okay, great. So first, to start with the presentation, we gotta ask ourselves what it really means to have a style. Well, when someone says that a teacher has a particular sense of style, that person actually is referring to a teacher's aptitude way of performing their abilities. Having a teaching style is an essential component to take into account for the marked individual qualities in people's learning, teaching, and thinking execution. In other words, we can say that every teacher has his or her own teaching style. And as the traditional teaching styles start changing over time, more and more teachers start adjusting their teaching approach depending on the students' needs. So we can say that we as teachers are constantly growing and changing certain aspects of our chosen approach. And according to Biggs in 2001, he said that the term teaching style appeared around the 1970s when interest began to focus on the role of styles in teaching and learning. In a simple way to say it and remember it, we can say that a teaching style is the manner in which a teacher manages instruction in the classroom environment. Next, we have a comparison with other styles. And it is important to note that excellent teachers use their voices, gestures, and movements to elicit and maintain attention and to stimulate students' emotions. And also, it's really important to know that the teaching style that we choose for our lessons stands for our personal skills that appear in how we successfully conduct our lessons. Moving on, we have teaching styles and learning style. Learning style focuses on the learner, and teaching style is involving the teacher. Effective teachers are those who use their students' preferred learning styles as their basis for lesson instruction, and a learning style is an individual's preferred way of learning. When the instruction style fits with the student's learning style, students typically undergo a greater satisfaction and perform a more positive attitude towards the course.
Differences between teaching style and learning style. Teaching style. The learning style and cognitive style affects one's teaching style. Also, the teaching style is the preferred way of solving problems, carrying out tasks, and making decisions in the process of teaching. On the other hand, learning style consists of an internalized cognitive process, and it is the way each individual collects, organizes, and transforms information into useful knowledge. Teaching style and cognitive style. According to writing, a teacher's natural teaching style will be the reflection of his or her own cognitive style. Differences between teaching style and cognitive style. Teaching style. Its focus is primarily on the configuration teacher behavior carried out in the classroom, including all aspects of self-expression. However, the cognitive style is a hypothetical construct that has been developed to explain the process of mediation between stimuli and responses. Teaching style and thinking style. Sternberg proposed that there are many ways of governing one's activities, which can be understood as our thinking styles, including teaching and learning. Differences between teaching style and thinking style. Thinking style. Variables like culture, gender, age, schooling, and occupation affect the development of thinking styles. Meanwhile, the teaching style is a composite measure of educators' style of teaching, including instructional planning and teaching methods. Today's ideal teaching style is a hybrid approach that blends the best of everything a professor has to offer. Here are factors to determine the best teaching method for students: knowledge versus information, a blend of teaching styles that incorporate facilitator, delegator, and demonstrator helps students acquire in depth knowledge. Interactive classrooms. With technology in mind, it is imperative that educators assess their students' knowledge while they are learning. Finally, constructivist teaching methods, which include modeling, coaching, and scaffolding.
So now we have types of teaching styles. So we know that every teacher has her or his own style of teaching, and as traditional teaching styles evolve with the advent of differentiated instruction, more and more teachers are adjusting their approach depending on their students' learning needs. They are also unique features of teaching style. Teachers' preferred way of solving problems, teachers' classroom behavior, teachers' personal behavior, teachers' mode of expression, management of instruction in classroom environment, teaching styles that differ from individual to individual, differ between groups also. Teaching styles depend on teachers' own needs, professional goals, and personal convictions. And also, teaching styles are related to instructional methods. Go with the first types of teaching styles. Gracia, 1986, argued that there are five main teaching styles that are linked to different outcomes in childhood. The first one is the expert. The pros of this one is that it possesses the information, knowledge, and skills that students need. The cons that it can maybe lead to students becoming intimidated. Next, we have formal authority that focus on a methodical way of conducting class paired with firm expectations. The cons is that can lead to a rigid, standardized, and less flexible way of managing students. Also have the personal model. The pros of this one is that students take the teacher as a role. The cons is that maybe they could be feelings of inadequacy by students when they don't meet the expectations of the teacher. So we have the facilitator one, where the pros are the personal nature of the student-teacher interaction and also that offers a great deal of flexibility. The cons are that may lead to students feeling uncomfortable. Last one, delegator. The pros is that it emphasizes the student as an independent learner, and the cons is that maybe it may contribute to student anxiety. Marcus 1982 and Woods 1995 gave us three types of teaching styles. The first one, discipline center, where the course has a fixed structure. The second one, teacher center, where the teacher is considered as an authoritative expert. And the student center one, where the instruction focuses on the student and his or her cognitive development. Number 1983 gave us four types of teaching styles: the direct teaching, where the teachers make all of the decisions; number two, the peer teaching, where they pair two students of differing ability levels with one another; and number three, problem solving, the teacher sets a problem and the student responds to it; and number four, the group approach is used to foster social skills as well as promote acceptance among different ability levels. Teacher gave us teacher-oriented, where the teacher decides next action or uses an immediate authority such as a book; the cooperation-oriented, where students and teacher jointly decide next action; And the student-oriented teacher allows students to decide their next action in class. This gave us the proactive that can be conceptualized as being preventive and taking a positive approach to classroom management. The reactive that is more likely to respond negatively to students' inappropriate behaviors. Lastly, Robinson categorized teaching styles into 5 classes ranging from highly content-centered to highly people-centered. Alex Lore identified 5 teaching styles: the drill master, content-centered, instructor-centered, intellect-centered, and person-centered.
We will also be covering Sternberg's 7 teaching styles. Sternberg proposed teaching styles consisting of only type 1 and type 2 thinking style. He operationalized them through thinking styles in teaching inventory, or TSTI. This inventory deals with three of the 5 dimensions of thinking styles: function, level, and leaning. His teaching styles cover different areas depending on which of the 7 styles you're using. Here we can see the different teaching styles proposed by Sternberg. We start with the first one, which is legislative style, and this one centers around creativity and doing things, creating stuff. Then we have executive style, which emphasizes on conforming, which means follow the rules, being told what to do. So that's executive style. Then we have judicial style, which its main characteristic is analyzing different data and different aspects. Then we have what is the local style. This one focuses more on concrete ideas or details, meaning it emphasizes things that are real, things that you can see and understand completely. Then we have the global style, which this one revolves around abstract thinking and problem solving. Things like logical problems with mathematics, and abstract thinking like philosophy, which you deal with ideas that maybe are not that present, maybe are not that concrete, kind of like emotions and stuff like that. Then we have the liberal style, which centralizes in new ideas to deal with tasks, but it's different from legislative style as it doesn't have to be your own idea. In legislative style, it revolves around creativity and you making different ways to solve problems, while liberal style can be another person's idea and you use it to deal with the task. Then we have conservative style, which employs traditional ways to deal with tasks, but also differs from executive style. As conservative style has to come up with your own ideas, but needs to be based on existing customs or already made up rules. So executive style is following the rules, while conservative style is making new ways while also following the rules or being subject to how the world works and needs to be based on customs that are already there. And how does all this interrelate? Well, as we can see in the image on the screen, each person will have their own unique style. Everyone is unique. And it correlates to the teaching style used in order to make sure that we can give them the best to their learning style. So, as we can see in the image, intellectual style, well, is a way we process information that covers cognitive style. That then covers the thinking style, which helps determine the learning style. As you can see, everything is correlated, so everything goes from biggest, which is the intellectual style, to the smallest, which is the learning style. And every person has their own unique style. That's why there are multiple styles. So as we can see, teaching style will cover and needs to cover every other style that is of the unique person: intellectual, cognitive, thinking, and learning style. That is why the different teaching methods, the different teaching styles will be better suited for some students, while others will be maybe not be that well suited for the same student, because each student has their own thinking style, their own learning style, their own intellectual style, and so different teaching styles will cover different learning styles. That is why Sternberg has 7 different to cover as most as possible. So we have seen different styles that covered maybe a little bit of each, but Sternberg did 7 to make sure he covered almost every single style in each of the 7 styles.